Well, first discuss Chelsea Crystal Palace because I believe that was the first game of the weekend. And yeah, well, we have Mo here, the Chelsea fan. First, what I wanted to say is Sancho is amazing. I will always want to
Who?
rate Sancho.
Oh, Central, yeah,
That setup for the goal against for Palmer. I
insane.
don't think enough people are talking about it. That was an amazing play, and his ability
Yeah,
to dribble and that little
Sancho's a
pass.
hated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. And also, I want to talk about Jackson because I feel like again, there's some unnecessary stuff that comes out about Jackson. In my opinion, he should have scored one of the chances, of course. Of course, that one with the left foot where he shot it, he got saved. Honestly, you guys could have taken the win, like easily.
The
But
game
it's
should have
nothing
been a
here.
comfortable 3-0 before Crystal Palace got a sniff.
Yeah,
exactly. But
yeah,
unfortunately, like this is a trend lately. Ever since the Brentford game, like we used to be a very like free scoring team. We were like second highest scoring team in the league after Spurs. After that, like lately, after like past 4 games, we've either not scored or only managed to score one goal in the game.
yeah.
Um,
So what do you think it is?
and yeah,
Is it a confidence issue? You guys are not. You guys are clearly creating chances, by just not
we're creating
finishing them.
chances. We're
Yeah,
creating so many chances. Like nothing
yeah,
has changed in that
yeah.
aspect. But like I don't know. Were we overperforming and now we have different expectations? Is it a confidence issue? I genuinely don't know. But what I do know is the chances Jackson is missing now versus the beginning of the season, how clinical he was. He kind of reverted to last season Jackson, where like his all-round
Mm,
game is amazing, but
yeah.
like you're lacking that killer instinct. And I said like this year he has to hit 20 goals. You're not gonna hit 20 goals. I'm gonna ask for a new striker.
So
A new
not.
striker. I'm not gonna say a new striker to lead the line, but a new
Yeah,
striker for him to come and compete with. Like,
yeah,
man, when I
yeah.
was
You have to.
watching, you have to have like another
Yeah,
striker that
yeah,
competes. Like when I was watching before Drogba or whatever club you want to name, we always have two strikers that are going hard at
yeah,
it, and then
yeah.
the guy that's clearly better is gonna show, and he takes his game to the next level because he has to keep scoring goals to stay in the team.
For
But yeah,
sure.
and also yeah, like I do love Sancho and everything, but I was thinking about this today, man. You can't be considered an amazing player or even a good player. He's just decent at this point because
Mm-hmm.
all he does every game is just one action.
Yeah,
For you, like for me, how the way I see it for any position, whether from goalkeeper all the way to striker, you have to have like a sense of ruthlessness in you because you can't just do it once and that's it. Like your job isn't done after an assist. Just like Madueke after the Wolves game, second or third game of the season, he scored a hat trick. He
yeah,
disappeared after that. These
yeah.
these players like they relax. They're like, okay, I did my job. No, you didn't. You're just doing what's expected of you. Now continue to do it. Like you have to be. This is where like good players are separated from
And
actually
great
elite
players.
players.
Yeah, yeah.
Consistency, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
And
No, I agree, but
yeah,
I was gonna ask you before even getting into Sancho about Jackson. Like, a lot of people talk about Jackson is in the team. Him and Palmer press a lot. You know, they
mm-hmm,
press a lot. There's a lot of things they have to do off the ball. Do you
mm-hmm.
think that's one of the reasons why Jackson doesn't finish, or do you think it's just his finishing ability, and overall, just that's why he's not finishing, or is it because his conditioning maybe falls off throughout the game?
That's actually a good point. I was talking about this today with my brother, and I was like, last season Jackson. You know how like last week I told you I'm like Jackson looked tired.
Yeah,
Last season I never said this about Jackson under Poch. The one thing Poch had is he had these players fit and ready to go for 120 minutes.
mm,
They never looked tired because
yeah,
his whole game was high intensity, box to box. With Maresca, it's more about control, and I guess there's less of a focus on fitness, and that's why around 70, 80 minutes you see Jackson dying out. So if he
yeah.
hasn't gotten his goal before that time, Jackson isn't
He's
scoring.
done. Yeah.
So yeah, of course, like the pressing and the running has impacts it negatively, but you're in this system where like you are our main goal threat and you're not getting the goals. You're getting the chances, by the way. He had,
Yep, yep.
I want to say, two clear cut chances,
I agree.
and then the one where he like dribbled that one player, cut in and hit it with outside of his foot. That was
Yeah,
nice.
that was
He should
nice.
have
Yeah.
gone on target. Still, again, I still
He
think
should
he should be
have hit
scoring
it with
more.
his left, man.
He should have hit his left. I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah. It should
I
have hit it with
agree.
his left. Be
But
confident with your weak foot. You're a striker. You gotta have both
that's the
feet.
thing, man. But that's the thing. Like, why? I mean, like as Chelsea number nine, this is the stuff you have to be scoring. You can't like I can't be like, man, Jackson, you're so good because of his hold up or his link up or his
Yeah,
pressing. He does all the stuff amazing, but you need to get your goals. Like clearly, our wingers are not good enough. I was really excited by Neto, but I expected Neto to rack up assists, which he's not getting, and I
he's
still
not. Yeah,
think that's because we don't have a killer in the box. Like you need someone with a presence. Jackson is not the guy that's gonna give you headers or like really put like throw his body on the line like to score like in between two defenders or something like that.
yeah.
Jackson is the guy that wants to run one on one with a center back and take him on and finish. So again, with Neto, I'm blaming him because he's not providing enough. And Sancho, like man, one assist every few games is not enough. Like you have to start scoring now.
Yeah.
He's not shooting enough, unfortunately.
But I don't think
Um,
Sancho. I don't think Sancho's a winger. It's like Hazard almost. Like he's not a winger to score. And I know you can't teach these players. No, no. At this point of their careers, this is who he is. He's a creative winger that might get you an assist here and there. He's gonna get you the ball up. But Neto has to be the scorer, unfortunately. And I don't know if Neto is capable
Neto
of
does
being
not
the
have
one.
goals in him, like not
Yeah.
that many goals. But the issue is like I don't know, man. I disagree. I think this comes down to like one-on-one coaching, which clearly Maresca is doing because Sancho is shooting more than I've ever seen him shoot. Like when I used to watch him at United, he
Yeah.
never shot. This guy was playing just for vibes.
Yeah.
At least now he's playing with like a sense of directness,
Yeah.
and he wants to have. He's focusing on output, which is why he has assists. I think he's on 6 assists this season, by the way.
Yeah.
But in terms of shots, he's not shooting enough. You saw him against Spurs. He shot one from outside the box and he hit it. Like we said this before, these kind of wingers, man, it's all about volume. Shoot, shoot, shoot. One of them's gonna go in. Against Crystal Palace, he didn't have a single shot, man.
Yeah.
And I want to speak about Palmer. I love Palmer. He's elite. Like he's gonna be an insane player. But man, this guy does like. This is the issue. Like, Foden. I think Pep coached like the flair out of him, the like sense of like you
Yeah.
do something, you create something out of nothing. This is where Palmer is at right now in his career, where like he's still inexperienced. Like the ball he lost, he shouldn't have done that. He had two easy options: either dribble it back or give a back pass to Correa.
Yeah.
Palmer decided to run in between two players. He got dispossessed because he was pressed. He was double
Yeah.
teamed. I think either
Yeah.
double
Yeah.
teamed or
Double
triple
team.
teamed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and the turnover was gone. And then I can't obviously only blame him. Like our defense, they were set up, so I'm not sure how that ball wasn't stopped from getting through all the way to Mateta. But again, like this is where Palmer I think needs some coaching and guidance. Plus, he needs to start learning because it's not the first time he's done a turnover.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Thing is with
and-
Palmer, you know what I see is sometimes players. So what happens is players, will perform really well, maybe in a system that's more, maybe it's not as strict of a system, right? So they'll be very creative. They're able to do a lot of things. But when a manager comes in and is wanting results, and last year you guys didn't have the results, but this year, of course, you guys are turning around. You top four. So the focus is results, and Palmer is being asked to be maybe more. Maybe not as he can't be as creative as he wants to be because there's a system in place that he has to do things off the ball. So what happens is the elite players have to find a way to be themselves in a system like this. So maybe Palmer will figure it out. Maybe not this season. Maybe this season will be a little bit of more of a drop off. Won't be as good as last season, but I can see him, thriving next season if he learns how to be as good as he was. 'Cause I think from compared to last season, I think I still would take him last season compared to this season, but I think it's because of the system. And I think once a player learns at his level to be, his best ability at his best in this kind of system, I think that's when he kind of thrives more. To be honest.
It's true. It's true. But the thing is, with last season, Palmer had so much freedom and like his focus was in and around the box only. Versus this season, Palmer, if you watch Chelsea, he drops a lot
he
to
does.
half. Like he drops in the pivot next to Caicedo, and Enzo's the one who occupies like the area near the box at the edge of the 18. Palmer has so much more responsibility in terms of creating for the team, like because he is that creative and he has that vision. But like you're saying, he has to find that balance of like thriving and doing like risky stuff, risky tricks, risky moves, and pulling off risky passes versus playing it safe. Like, so I'm okay with him making mistakes. He's that elite.
Yeah.
Like, I'm okay with you as long as like I'm not seeing it like the same mistakes in back-to-back games. Mistakes are gonna happen. It's bound to happen when you're that type of player. But just please don't make them back-to-back, because like we should not be dropping these amount of points.
100%. Why do you think Reece James didn't play? I thought he was gonna play this yesterday.
Yeah, so against Ipswich, Maresca was like he's gonna get some minutes. He didn't get minutes. Just wanted him to travel. But I said he's gonna get minutes against Crystal Palace. I think the game became too stretched and up and down. And with his hamstrings, and you still don't know how much he can give you. I think it's better the way like how Maresca is managing him, because Maresca honestly spoke about it in the press conference multiple times this year how much he loves Reece James and how much like Reece James will elevate the team in terms of performance and results.
Yeah.
And he said Reece James, like he can't keep getting injured. He literally said it. He cannot keep getting injured because at one point you have to give up on a player, and it's true. So I think he's trying to manage him perfectly and have him ready, because one more time Reece James breaks down and that's it for him in Chelsea.
Damn.
He moves on. I think so. And unfortunately, he is this elite, and I know, man, especially with the way we're playing, Reece James will come in. He elevates the team like to another level. This guy gives you creativity from the back. He gives you elite defensive ability, awareness, and tackling and blocking.
Yeah.
And he plays like 100% all the time. So I don't know, man.
It's so sad.
I'm good
Injuries
with
are
what Maresca's
sad.
doing, to be honest.
Injuries are just so sad sometimes for players.
It sucks, man.
Yeah, because I want to, like, thing is, you don't want to blame him, but you never know what could really be happening behind the scenes. But at the same time, like, let's see what happens. Maybe he'll come on for 45 minutes. Maybe he'll play like 15 minutes here and there, and that's what I would do, to be honest. To slowly drop him in a couple minutes and let him play. Because listen, he's putting players in the 80th minute, right? Like, his first sub was in the 81st minute. Right, and like that was Jackson to be taken
There's a lot
out.
of talk about that, yeah.
Like,
So
I don't like that. I personally think that if you're 1-0 up or you 1-1, whatever, you should be making some changes because you want to finish off the game and you have Felix, you have Nkunku in the game. And I know you're gonna say, oh, like maybe those players are not really performing, but you need to change it up.
you know what, Ziyad? Like I'm with you, but honestly, if you go again back to the beginning of the season, Maresca was elite with subs. He was making them at halftime. He was making them 50th minute, 60th minute. The thing is, I don't think people realize I know our bench is decent again, but like we have so many injuries to the key players. Like in a game like this, is a game where you want to bring on Lavia, or maybe if you have Enzo on the bench, you bring on Enzo.
Yeah.
But for me, if you're gonna bring on Nkunku, his pressing automatically drops, which is it's shit. We're getting a pinned back by Crystal Palace, so I'm good with Nkunku not coming on. He did put Mark Gu on, and Mark, man, that guy ran himself to the ground, which is amazing. But he still didn't have that real good experience yet.
Yeah.
And again, like, who is he really gonna put in midfield? We literally have no center midfielders on the bench. Unfortunately, zero midfielders on the bench. Enzo and Caicedo, you can tell they're leggy. Like at this point, I can see them, man. By 50th minute, 50th or 60th minute, these guys are done, and I don't blame them. They can drop stinkers back to back, and I won't speak because they've been carrying this season.
What are you gonna do though? Like with no midfielders now, like they need to be rested.
So Lavia, I do believe Lavia comes back next game.
Nice.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Which is in 10 days. And he actually promoted. Like last week, I was telling you guys I want to see Josh Chimpong get promoted. He actually started, by the way. He had a very decent game. I liked him, and I think this kid, like, I'm down for him to keep playing center back. He's a right back, but he has the height, he has the pace to play the center back position the way we play. Because our center back, whoever's on the side, like on the right side or left side, that guy is required to run so much in terms of like between our net and half, and also cover so much space sideways. Like if you see Konate, he always gets dragged out wide.
Yeah.
This is the same thing that was required from our center back. When Fofana got injured, we dropped because of that, man. Fofana, Maresca would play against any striker and man mark the striker with Fofana, because Fofana would track him all the way to their net if the striker drops, or he's ready to sprint towards our net because he has that pace.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we lost him. We lost so much of the way we played.
Yeah, no. Let's see what happens. I think you guys just need a better bench. To be honest, as you said, no midfielders on the bench, and especially in the Premier League, it's gonna be tough. So, do you think any January signings are happening, or?
Again, man, get me Liam Delap. I will fucking pay 40, 50 million for that guy. He is a guaranteed success. And I don't know. I'd still take a center back. Although I love this kid, Chempong, I still think he's young. He's 18.
He's 18, yeah.
You need this year. You have to get top 4. Honestly, if we don't get top 4, it's a failure.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
It's a failure.
It's a tight race, man. Now you guys are like behind Liverpool, obviously 10 points, but a game behind. But you guys, I don't think that's your focus. Behind Arsenal 4 points, and now Newcastle 1 point behind you, and City 2 points.
And Forest have a game in hand. They play tomorrow, and they're already a point ahead.
Yeah, exactly. So honestly, top 4 is very tight. And by the way, if you look to 9th, Fulham, like even though Fulham is 6 points behind you, it's a very tight race. So honestly, the table could look so much different at the end of the season. We'll see what happens. But
I do want to say something again. Like honestly, we're 1-0 up. We got denied a clear fucking penalty. I don't know if you saw it on Neto. A clear penalty. So last week,
but he got ball.
Huh?
He got ball.
No, he didn't get ball.
Come on, I thought he got ball.
I promise you did not get ball, man. Like, the way Neto controlled it, Neto was already facing outside the box, and he controlled his left foot.
Yeah.
So for the player, okay, maybe he got ball, but after he went through Neto, he had to go through Neto to touch the ball. That's the issue. And last week we have the lap diving.
Yeah, that was a bad dive.
It's so fucking pathetic. By the way, we had a counterattack. We had a situation where it was gonna be 3-on-1. But they brought the play back because there was an offside on Eze. It was hilarious the way they brought it back. The play had died out, and when we started counterattacking, the referee blew his whistle. It was insane. Oh, I was gonna lose my head.
No, refereeing in the country is so bad. In general, football to me, refereeing is shit. But in the Premier League, man, it's like special case. And honestly,
Listen,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. What were we gonna say?
No, I was gonna transition to Another call,
So
but go.
I just want to say one thing because I always say this. Um, like it's funny. The Premier League's in England, but the worst things about the Premier League is the English players. They bring the level down, and the English managers bring the level down,
And
and the
English
English
refs.
referees bring the level down. The
Yeah.
only thing that's good about the Premier League is the foreign players, foreign managers, foreign owners. Nothing English is actually good about the English Premier League. It's embarrassing.
It's hilarious, and it's always been like that, like
Legit.
for a long time, especially in the 2020s. But